Hello and welcome to this unboxing video for Judge Dredd miniatures game, and it's the expansion, a new expansion that just came through in the post about 10 minutes ago from Warlord games, and it's a block war expansion for the Judge Dredd miniatures game, and I've also got the new miniatures releases. So we're going to have a look at each of them, but obviously most of the focus will be on the block war, and then we'll have a look at the miniatures as well, and I'll crack them open. Okay, so without further ado, let's crack on. So it's been a while since there's been anything new for the Judge Dredd miniatures game, so I was particularly excited when Warlord announced back in January, I think it was, that we're going to have this new expansion for the Judge Dredd miniatures game. And first thing to say is, as usual, the box art is great. We've got the classic Carlos Esquera art there on the front, and on the back, just obviously details of all the components and what's in the box. But yeah, we don't need to read that because we're going to just see what's in the box right now. So inside the box, basically you've got all these components. So you have new cards, you have two new miniatures who look to be just standard blockers who are on, well, obviously having a block war, but they look like they're rioting there. They've got clubs and a brick. So yeah, I quite like that because one of the things that hasn't been released so far is standard blockers, and pretty much standard citizens are, you know, very prominent in the strip, so it's good to see getting a couple of normal ones, because I've been using the ones from like that are meant for train sets, and yeah, these are much more. These will be much more thematically accurate for the setting. I'm no expert on the material, but yeah, it's the kind of resin that you'll be familiar with by now. I don't know if it's an upgraded one, because I know they've got this new resin, but I'm really not very technically minded when it comes to that thing. I just like once they're painted and getting on with the game. So speaking of the game, you get this really thick pad here, which is your campaign roster. So basically you can see the details there. Block name, which is self-explanatory. Block war chant, so obviously you're going to have something that your citizens are shouting when they go to battle. Block type, obviously there must be some kind of rules about it. Block upgrades, again, that's a really large section there on the notepad, so there must be loads of upgrades that you can get for your block as you play the campaign. Block war campaign effects, you get levels, population, block war phase, faction notoriety, block kill count, I like that. Another thing which is down the bottom here is structure. So this indicates to me, and I've not read the rules yet because it's literally just out the package in here, that you can actually destroy each other's block, and I'm guessing that's going to be the aim of the campaign, is to do that. But yeah, that's cool, because I like that, because I've always been a fan of the old Games Workshop Blockmania game, and yeah, that was one of the things that you were always trying to do, was destroy the other blocks. So I quite like that it's fallen into the miniatures game as well here. Just having a little look at the cards here. So you get 3 new armory cards, which are a sucker gun, plastic virus, and the riot foam cutter, all of which will be explained in the rulebook. As usual, it's following the same theme you'd expect for your armory cards, and same look and same way that they're used. And yeah, that's those. Next up, we've got block war cards, which seem very similar to the Big Meg cards or the chicanery cards if you're familiar with Strontium Dog. I'm not sure exactly how these works, I've not read anything yet, but they do mostly look to be themed along the lines of, I think they're more like hazards, and it's Justice Department, various resources like the riot foam, the fire department, riot squad, and various other things that presumably get played during play, and will keep things quite spicy, I'd imagine. The one that I wanted to draw attention to, which I thought was very interesting, was this one. Mentions a friendly resident mob of 6 models is added to your force moving in from any table edge in the deploy zone. This to me indicates that there's maybe going to be more of the kind of pack characters, and yeah, it certainly would indicate to me that there's going to be a lot more miniatures on the table. So that's one that I'm going to be interested to find out more about when I read the rulebook. I mean, this is a real reason I was excited about the pack. I mean, I always love getting new miniatures, but yeah, I wanted to see if there's more options in the game. So once again, it's another beautifully presented book. You can see they get the original art as usual, as you'd expect. If you're familiar with the rule book, you'll see that it's all the same fonts. It's all consistent with what we've seen before, which is nice. I like that. I like the fact that it's following the same thematics. And yeah, really nicely realised. I suppose the one thing I would say, MD that's got the starter set, is this book is a lot smaller, but to be honest, I don't really care. All I care about is that we've got some new options in the game. So yeah, I'm just going to show you the contents page, because I can't tell you how any of these things work in the moment, as I've mentioned, but I can tell you roughly what's in it. So the first 10 pages is pretty much introduction and background about block wars and sector wars and block mania itself, which any Dreadhead, self-respecting Dreadhead probably knows, but yeah, it's nice to have it. You then get a section which is about building your block, which talks about the different types of blocks. So there's city blocks, low-rise, pre-atomic, Luxy block, fat camp, then it gets into block names, city blocks, block facilities, tells you how to attack city blocks, and mentions block upgrades. In the armoury there's a whole new, several new weapons. So we've got the disruptor gun, flamer, laser cannon, missile defence, sonic cannon, spit cannon, riot foam and riot shields. So lots of new options there for the armoury, which is good. Then get block warriors down here, which is, so you get the Justice Department, who've got riot judges, assault judges, wally squad judges, the Pat Wagon, which is a new miniature that we've seen trailed before, and that's what's exciting. I'm interested to know how the Pat Wagon is actually going to affect play, because you would think it would be pretty brutal and able to subdue a lot of perps quite quickly. And then there's also stats for Judge Giant, which is really nice, because he was one that I was disappointed he wasn't in the main rulebook. So great to see Giant finally getting some representation there. Then get the City Def, they've got a med tech, a City Def weapon emplacement, which again is another one of those ones I think's been trailed, where it's like, looks like the minigun that was used in the 2012 Dredd film, and there's two people operating it. I think that's what that'll be. You've got Justice Department Armory, they've got a Jaeger squad, Commando, who are the kind of elite City Def from memory, from the Block Mania game. That was the main, I think they're in one of the stories as well, but I can't remember offhand which one it was. Then it's the city blocks, so you've got a block champion, you've got a resident mob, Fats Hambo, who's one of the new miniatures we're about to see, Flab Fighter, Fatty Battering Ram, which is another one we're going to see, a lone superhero, a Robodog, and a Footsie, so new characters there again. So yeah, quite a lot of new characters, which is good. Lots of new options for this game. Then you get a lot of campaign rules there. So page 40 to 68 is rules about it. So that is really exciting to me, because that's I wanted to see what it was that we're going to do, and I can't wait to read that and see what the new options will be. Right, so this is really interesting down here at the bottom. New denizens of Mega City 1, Blanche Tatum the Executioner. Now I've seen that miniature, I think it was on display on the Warlord's open day or something last year. So as well as him, we've got Devlin Waugh, Rico Dredd, which is another exciting one, Stan Lee, the Death Fist, not to be confused with Marvel Stan Lee. This guy's a martial artist and gave Dredd a kicking in one of the episodes, so he must be really powerful. Dirty Frank, Jack Point and Amy Nixon. Now the three of those, if you've already got the expansions, there'll be rules for those already, you already have them. Same for the Cleggs, and then there's some rules reference at the end. So, I mean, it's packed full of loads of new goodies. So yeah, as I say, really excited to read this and hopefully get a campaign going soon. That would be great, and hopefully get some new episodes on the channel. It's been a while since I've done much on the channel. Been taking a little break, but yeah, planning coming back and doing more Judge Dredd. So we've looked at two of the miniatures. Let's move on to each of the other packs. So we've got the Justice Department Riot Control here, as usual. Yeah, just nice boxes that they always do. So inside the Justice Department Riot Control set, this is the full contents. I just want to stress, by the way, that this is not part of the Block War expansion. So what you've seen so far, that was the expansion itself. So you only get the two miniatures and that, but you get that rule book, you get the campaign roster and all the new cards. So in this particular box set, you have 3 miniatures, and this is basically, we've got the, as you'd expect, since it's a Riot Control, 3 Riot Control judges. So let's have a closer look. These are riot shields. I've not quite worked out where they'll be applied at the moment, but anyway. So these two, I think, are riot judges who have riot foam. I think that's their weapons, what they've got. To obviously, if you remember from the strip, the riot foam that gets sprayed on the citizens, it then hardens, and basically they've kind of got to be dug out, but it subdues them, which is why it'd be quite handy to have in the game. Particularly, there's going to be large numbers of rioting citizens. So that's those two. And this one here, I think, is the assault judge, and I think you'll be able to use the riot shield on him. Again, I've not really worked out how it's going to go on, but yeah, as usual, it's the resin and nice and lightweight. Yeah, I think we need a wee bit of cleaning up, but yeah, looking good. Yeah, as usual, you get some new cards. So you get new stats for the Riot Judge, Assault Judge, and you've also got the Armory card for the Riot Shield, and a new big Meg card for Jimp. Jimp is, for anyone who doesn't know, is a judge impersonator. That's what it is. That's what it's short for. So it's a really good fun story, that one, actually, in the comic. So that's the Riot Control. Next up, we have the Mega City Resident Mob. So again, as I mentioned in the kind of main part of the for the main expansion, it's nice to see some more standard, if you like, citizens. And again, yeah, nice box up. Anyway, let's see what's inside. Okay, so this is everything that comes inside the Resident Mob box set. So you have 3 cards. One is the stats card for the Resident Mob. Residents are 1 each, so I'm guessing these are all pack characters. Will be interesting to see how that works, because I've never really done that much with the packs. Mostly because I always wanted to try and have characters that were more towards the star chip characters, basically. I always felt that gave the game a bit of a better balance, so I'm interested to see if there's been any tweaks in regard to how they operate in the numbers, because I'm curious to know how the judges are going to survive with so many citizens on the board. Also, you've got Anti-Muggins suit, which is a kind of famous suit that is covered in spikes. It became illegal. It was quickly outlawed by Dredd, I think. And you've got the 4 cred Freezy Whip card, which is again another notorious moment in the Block Mania storyline. So that's nice. I'm glad that's in there, because that's one of my favourite bits of it. I actually love the Block Mania, the whole story, to be honest, but it starts out with this madness that basically somebody has an ice cream dropped in their head, and then that's it. It's the spark that ignites the conflict. First of all, get between 2 blocks, but then it just spreads right across the whole of Mega City 1, and it is it's great that it's such an innocuous moment like that sparks it all. But yeah, obviously the main thing you're looking for in this set as all the focus is on the miniatures. So have a quick look at these. It's nice to see some crocs, which are basically old people in this set, because yeah, they are fairly prominent in Mega City 1. They do feature in a lot of stories, so it's nice to see them getting a little roll out there. I'm not sure what that creature is. He's walking, it's some bizarre alien type thing. I don't know if it's another croc, I think it is. Could be either, could be somebody just with the Mega City fashion. Hard to tell because he's got the goggles on. You know, some more rioters with pots and pans and cleavers, and another croc there on the right, and what looks like a Juve gang, guy from a Juve gang maybe. And you get some protesters there, so you get a nice slogan on there. And then another rioting citizen. Finally, I think this is my favourite from this set, a guy that's in a hover wheelchair there. So yeah, that's a cool, very Mega City 1, the fact it is slightly Davros-like, but yeah, that's a cool mini, I like that one. And last but by no means least, we have the Fatties at War. So again, there's the box. These characters, Fatties are always classic Dredd characters, and kind of sum up a lot of the madness of Mega City 1. So let's look inside. Okay, so inside this box we have 4 cards. So we get the stats for the Fatty Battering Ram, we get the stats for Fats Hambo, who's very much like a chubby Sylvester Stallone, or very chubby. You've got Grot Pots, which is a Big Meg card. A bad batch of Grot Pots consumed this morning has unfortunate side effects, so that sounds entertaining. We've got a Frag Grenade. I'm quite surprised the Frag Grenade wasn't. I had a look at the rulebook. Yeah, I'm surprised it wasn't in there in the first place. Pretty sure it was on Strontium Dog, but yeah, that's your cards. The miniatures, it's a lot harder for me to give you a sense of what's happening, because these ones are got a lot of kind of multi-parts. The other ones were slightly clearer because it was only like the odd arms to get added on, but I'll do my best here. So that's Fats Hambo, obviously missing arms, but yeah, he's going to be fun to use, I'm sure. And this will be the Fatty Battering Ram, so again it's very hard to get a clear idea, but anyway, that's his upper body, and he's basically been shoved against his will, I'm assuming, basically by 2 blockers who are pushing him along. So yeah, that'll be another fun character to use in the game, so yeah, I'm looking forward to getting to try out these guys. So yeah, that just about wraps up this unboxing video. I hope you've enjoyed it. I'm really looking forward to getting into reading this book and seeing what all the new options are that we've got and how the actual block war is going to work. It's definitely my intention. We're going to try and do a campaign series of block war pretty soon, hopefully. I won't have access, I won't have all the miniatures ready yet, but I've got quite a few of all the existing ones, so I'm hoping that'll be enough to get me going, even if it doesn't mean I have all the bells and whistles with the Fatty Battering Ram and riot judges and so on, but I think I can get by with what we've got, hopefully. And yeah, hopefully that'll be a fun series to do and exciting. Hopefully try and destroy my opponent's block. But anyway, yeah, that'll be something that'll be coming soon. I haven't been that active in the channel, I've been having a little break, but yeah, I'm planning and ramping things up again pretty soon, so please consider liking, subscribing. Please comment if you've actually got the expansion and you've read the rules, and let me know what you think, because I'm interested to know what other players think of the new rules. And until next time, thanks for watching and keep on living the life of Die.